Oda is finally back to dropping bombshells as we get a glimpse of the cursed
Prince and unofficial king of the giants, Loki. In Luffy's words, someone hella powerful. But chapter 1130 goes even further by hyping up just how strong Loki really is, potentially even being one of the strongest characters in the entire series, as after killing his own father in King Herald, he stole his legendary devil fruit and now claims the title of Sun God.
You're joking. Not another one?
Alright, I know, I think we're all tired of hearing all these fake sun gods, but this time is different, I swear, because Loki's rendition of the sun god is about to bring Ragnarok, and unfortunately for our Straw Hats, they are split up again.
Oh, shit.
Unfortunately for our Straw Hats, they are split.
You know what? Can't lie. At one point in time, I would have got really upset at this. But, what I can say about the Straw Hats, for being a crew of only 10 people, right? And I know they didn't get Yamato, but they definitely got a tank in Jinbei. Like, that was nothing like, bro. Like, this is a squad, bro. You got Himothy, bro. Himothy Neutron. You got second in command of the year. You got Mr. Nothing Happened. You got my bad. I don't wanna give Sanji them pedophile jokes, but like, oh my god, what he was doing last arc was bad, bro. Like, what he was doing with Bonnie, bro, that was bad, bro. Like, it was just a bad look, bro. That's a little girl, bro. I don't care if she could shapeshift into a grown woman, but that's a little girl, bro. And if he knew that, bro, like, that's a goddamn problem. I feel like people be sleeping on Nami, bro. Hey, she may not know hockey or nothing like that, but she sleeper, bro. Definitely a sleeper. Cause without her, this whole group would be stuck. Her and Robin are so underrated, bro. I feel like every arc that they get split up, bro, if it wasn't for her and Robin, bro, we'd be cooked. But don't sleep on this group here. This is not a group to just sleep on and disrespect, bro. That's Big Frank, bro. You better respect that, bro. That's Big Jinbei, bro. You better respect that. That's Big Brook, man. You better respect that. These are all 6 foot plus individuals who are, I think, Brook like 8'2", I think, if I'm not mistaken. 7'2" or something like that. He like Wembenyama height. But Big Frank and Big Jinbei, bro, don't sleep on them. I do wish Frankie would learn some type of hockey, though. That'd be tough. But like, I mean, this group, come on, bro. You got all the powerhouses in this group. But this group is nothing to sleep on either. Like, this is a group of powerhouses in its own. I love how the Straw Hat crew is
Split up again.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Frankie's group is looking around trying to find the gang.
We ain't found squad after all this searching, but I'm sure we found.
But it's a complete dead end. Even Jinbei's shark came up empty-handed. Nothing but seawater and disappointment. So Frankie tells the giants to call it a day and put their faith in the crew to meet them in Elbaf. After all, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji are sticking together, so they're pretty safe for now, right? Well, we jump to Luffy's group, who just busted their way out of Rhodes' diorama, only to discover they were inside an even bigger castle. But outside, it's the real deal. The land around them has real snow, real forest, and the castle has a long bridge connected to a huge tree branch up in the sky, indicating that some of the giants live on the branches of Yggdrasil, which is a throwback to a mix between Norse mythology and the fable of Jack and the Beanstalk, where giants lived in the castle above the clouds. And of course, fable backwards is Elbaf.
Wow, Oda is a genius! Oh my god! Yo, I would have never picked that up on my own, bro. I can't lie, bro. Oda is top 5, bro. Oda and Stan Lee are top 5 writers all time, bro. They got it, bro. Akira Toriyama, Oda, and I forget the writer of Naruto's name. Top 5, bro. Writer of Bleach, top 5, bro. Stan Lee, top 5, bro. You wanna ask my Mount Rushmore of fiction writers, bro? Those are my top 5 right there. Oh my god, like this is peak, bro. This is peak. I would have never thought of that. I just love the hidden gems, bro.
Isn't that cool? It never gets old, does it? Okay, I need to stop. Now, a key note is that this tree could also be referred to the Adam tree, as Adam is literally the forefather of all mankind, connecting everyone together. Yggdrasil is inspired from the world tree that connects the 9 realms of the Norse universe together. This could also indicate that Yggdrasil is the official entrance to Skypiea. Regardless, as they travel, the Straw Hats suddenly see someone crossing the bridge, and so they hide. It turns out to be Goldberg and Gerd from the new giant warrior pirates led by Hayruddin, meaning they are allies of the Straw Hats and are part of the Straw Hats' grand fleet. However, Gerd is frustrated that Hayruddin let such a weirdo like Road join their crew, with Goldberg defending him, saying that he is a good navigator. But Gerd is having none of it. She even goes as far to call him a greater shame of Albath than Loki. Now, what the hell does that even mean? Wasn't Loki a respected prince? To the point that Big Mom wanted Lola to marry him with the hopes of finding an alliance with the giants. If we look back at Oda's illustration, the prince seemingly had enough respect from his people. And remember, he was the one who proposed to Lola before getting rejected. This kind of showcases that either he was out to get power or he actually genuinely fell in love with Lola? I don't know about that one. I'm taking a piss. But for reals, we'll soon come to know why he was after power and how the alliance with Big Mom made more sense. Regardless, the real reason Gerd and Goldberg are even here in the first place is because her giant owl Piper saw Rhodes' crow carrying off a ship. They state that trespassing is illegal in Elbaf, and Rhodes has a habit of taking nearby ships, claiming them as trespassers so he can lock them up in his castle. Now, honestly, I hated this whole road misadventure our gang had to take. I feel like it was a waste of 2 chapters, but I get it. Oda-sensei loves to do these wacky introductions to force Luffy into progressing the story. This writing style works, as the world of One Piece is huge, and realistically, having the gang all together will only allow a linear movement and won't allow Oda to explore different parts of his world. But still, I hate Road, and I'm not alone, as Gerd remarks that if she sees him kidnap anyone else, she will report him to Ural, the elder giant we saw from Big Mom's flashback, who now should be around 408 years old. But since trespassing is illegal in Elbaf, Nami suggests they should play it safe and stay hidden, even if they are technically allies. Now, I'm certain Luffy isn't the type to care about these things, but again, Oda is trying to rush to an important story element. So as Goldberg and Gerd knock on the castle door to call for Road, the Straw Hats run across the giant bridge and leave the area. Below the bridge is a forest and many giant wolves. However, on the way across, Luffy stops as he has been feeling something for a while. His observation haki is on full blast, as along with Zoro and Sanji, they feel a scream of a man so powerful that every fiber of their bodies are reacting to it. In fact, they were feeling this pressure even when they were inside Rhodes' Block Kingdom. Luffy, of course being Luffy, wants to check where this insane haki is coming from. Sanji says he will stay behind and even stops Zoro from going with Luffy, considering that he always gets lost, especially in a massive forest like in Elbaf. So without thinking twice, Luffy jumps down from the bridge to the forest below, splitting the group even further. On that topic, back at the Giant's ship, we finally get bounties! No, not the Straw Hats.
Damn.
Big news, Morgan drops more fake news, reporting that after awakening from their 100-year slumber, the giant warrior pirates have allied with the Yonko Straw Hat Luffy and attacked Egghead. Both Dory and Broggy, sharing the title of captain, received a bounty of 1.8 billion berries each. I know that these guys are legends, and the 100-year gap inflation is also a consideration. But that's already way more than Zoro's. However, we still have yet to receive the Straw Hats updated bounty. Let's not forget Zoro punked Lucci and...
Oh, I forgot. They did just go through a whole goddamn arc, bro. I totally forgot. Egghead felt like a pit stop, bro. I can't lie. Compared to Wano, bro, y'all gotta realize, dog, Wano took 2 or 4 years to complete, dog. Like, Wano was a fat ass arc. That was a heavy arc, bro. I think Wano, Big Mom, and Dofi were like some fat ass arcs. But I get with the picture they were painting, like, you know, from Punk Hazard, like, and from since then they've been kind of like working their way up, like taking out the mob. You feel me? And so, like, that's literally what they did. Y'all realize that, right? Y'all realize Kaido was a drug dealer, right? His drug though was just smile fruits. Y'all realize that, right? Like, Kaido was a drug dealer. Kaido was Future, bro. Not even Future. He was El Chapo, bro. He was big, black, strong dragon El Chapo, bro. Like, he was literally him. Like, going from Punk Hazard taking out the factory to Dressrosa taking out the Prime factory. Then from Dressrosa to Whole Cake, from Zoe to, you know, meet up with the rest of the Straw Hats. Then from Zoe to Whole Cake. Then we get to meet Big Mom for real. We see Sanji's past, all that good stuff. Then from Whole Cake to Wano, and Wano's like 4 years, bro. 3 or 4 years.
Stood up against the freaking Gorosei. Likewise with Sanji. But most importantly, Luffy's bounty at this point needs to be over 5 billion. He beat down an admiral, slapped up 2 Gorosei, and got away from the Buster Call. Also, if he is being blamed for Vegapunk's supposed death, it won't make any sense for his bounty to remain the same. There's no way he's not more dangerous than Shanks to the world government, especially after the embodiment of Joy Boy and having the sun god Nika fruit. Emu was also forced to bend the knee and even replace a loyal and ancient subordinate in Saturn. 5 billion is a given. The only logical reason that might not happen is because Emu and the government doesn't want too much heat and attention on Luffy, hence why they were pissed when the picture of sun god Nika Luffy was mass printed with his 3 billion berry bounty. It's pretty obvious that Morgan is
Cypher transmission from Wano broke off right after they spotted Big Mom's shit.
playing with fire. He's trying to provoke the government by showing these images, all while still printing news that keeps the government's name clean. Remember, he knows about Emu through Wapol, which is why he purposely shared a picture of Nika Luffy again whilst lying that he killed Vegapunk. Morgan's big brain play to make Luffy infamous is for a grand plan. He knows that the government will try to hide the idea of Sun God Nika under the rug, but if Luffy becomes the biggest public menace, the government will be forced to address and give him attention. The whole world will be looking at their response, much like when Ace was executed. The government is also currently on thin ice, where even within, factions will be forming. Leaving aside swords, the Vice Admiral, even within, factions will be forming. Leaving aside
Well, I forgot Garp is cooked, bro. So, Sword active members, X-Drake, Rear Admiral Prince Gruss, Kujaku, Helmeppo, 3 Rear Admirals, Captain, Commander,
alongside swords, the vice admirals present in Egghead,
The 9 Navy, each crew vice admiral. These dudes look like fodder. Except for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because if James Harden taught us anything in the world, it was fear the beard. Not gonna lie, this dude looks like a joke. It look like he look like a soggy thumb. That nigga look like my thumb. If you see how my hold on, you see how the thumb crunch up right there, look like his neck. Oh my god.
now knows the truth, and obviously Saturn's actions didn't really help. Regardless, Robin catches something surprising on the picture of Luffy. This image on the newspaper shows him having an X on his arm, something which isn't normally present when he transforms into Gear 5. However, Robin vaguely remembers where this is from. Unlike the others on the ship, from Jinbei to Frankie and even Brooke, none of them saw this before, whereas Robin had. It was quite a while back, but it's so iconic, and if you don't know what it is, then you're not really watching One Piece. This mark was added by the gang during Arabasta so they could tell each other apart if Bon Clay, who was a bad guy at that time, tried to impersonate them. This of course would end up setting the touching scene where they showed that no matter the time or distance, Vivi would always be part of the Straw Hats. Robin notes that unlike the picture, which is blurry, this X is not, meaning the only other person who knows about this X in Vivi is sending a message and is currently safe and sound with Morgan. Throughout this, Robin is mostly ignored by the Giants as they realize that Luffy and Shanks are now on equal standing, whilst even one of their younglings is part of Luffy's fleet. In a way, this is Oda telling us that Luffy is getting one step to Luffy's fleet.
Even that whippersnapper of ours, Harjin, is under your umbrella right here. That ambitious brat is the king's own kid, you know. Whoa. That's crazy.
Fleet. In a way, this is Oda telling us that Luffy is getting one step closer to fulfilling the promise he made to Shanks. However, we ain't done, as these giants just dropped a bombshell of a bombshell that Hyrule is still a son of the king.
What?
Yep, he is a prince and the older brother of Loki himself. This revelation is actually huge, as it confirms the theory that Hyrule is actually based off Odin from the Norse mythology. And unlike the Marvel universe, Loki was never the son of Odin, but his brother instead, which fits into this perfectly. To add to this, just like his Norse counterpart, Odin always was tagged along with a raven, and we know that Hyrule's subordinate road has a raven or crow named Mugen. Moreover, Hyrule's name, which consists of Udin, sounds very similar to Odin, and in Dressrosa we even see him use a move Gungnir, which is the name of the original Odin spear. All of this goes to show that Hyrule might just be the next rightful king of Alba.
Yo, this nigga Oda is a genius, dog. Oh my god. Yo, like what? And I'm tripping because if y'all understand where One Piece has been going, it's like island to island, Luffy has always saved the damsel in distress, who always happens to be like the rightful ruler of that country. You know what I mean? Like, shit, hell, Alabasta put Vivi back in her rightful ruling place. Dressrosa put Rebecca and her family back in her ruling place. Wano put Momonosuke back in their ruling place. The fishmen, he saved them. You know, so he's really like Zoe. He's allies with Zoe. Like he's putting these rulers back in their rightful place. So it's kind of like painting this setup. Like if you understand chess, it's kind of painting the setup. So when he puts Emu in checkmate, like the new world, and then Kobe, he's like ally. He put Kobe on to be in the Marines to begin with. It's like he's moving in a way where, you know, so when he finally checkmates Emu, dog, he could really like, he really gonna rule the world, but like, I don't know, bro. On some like, on some peaceful type Joy Boy. He's Joy Boy. He's him. Like,
and in turn placed under the protection of the Yonko Luffy. My boy's collecting territories like it's some Pokemon cards. In fact, Hyruden had such respect, he wanted to join the giant warrior pirates in fetching the Straw Hats from Egghead Island. But sadly, he had to stay behind because of the troubles in Albath lately, so only the seniors could go. The giants explained that whilst Dory and Broggy were absent, Loki did an unspeakable act which threw Albath into chaos. He killed his own father, King Harold. Why? Well, for a devil fruit, to be
you see, this legendary devil fruit said to be passed down to the royal family. His desire to eat it was
fair, it's not just any ordinary one, it's a legendary one. This power is usually passed down in the royal family. Considering Hyruden is the older one, he would have likely gotten it. So, you know, you can't really blame Loki, I guess.
I beg your pardon?
Now it's not clear whether the king possessed the power of the devil fruit or just locked it up in a treasure box or something. But if he did have the power, then the whole idea of stealing devil fruits could have originated from Albath itself. Like, if there was a fruit passing ritual, I'm pretty sure Blackbeard would have learnt it. Remember, you don't have to have Blackbeard's power to steal another man's ability, as we saw with Jesus Burgess, since he had planned
with Judas Burgess. You didn't go to save your brother. You didn't go save your brother. You weren't there that day.
to kill Sabo and have his fruit spawn in the bag of fruits he was carrying around. We also saw this happen when the Smile monster in Punk Hazard died, and it's
Good work, Smile. Let us meet again.
Akuma no Mi spawned to the closest fruit. There is also Doflamingo, who received Ace's devil fruit, likely because he himself carried bags of fruits, as he believed either Whitebeard, Ace, or some strong devil fruit user would have died during the war, and so he planned ahead. Which brings us back to what Loki must have done. In Norse mythology, Asgardians and giants are two different races, so Loki and Odin were not blood related until they performed the blood ritual, which tied them as brothers, since Loki was a giant and Odin was an Asgardian. And as we know, Loki was the god of mischief and caused a lot of havoc, similar to his counterpart in One Piece. In fact, the giants even said when he was born, he was called the Accursed Prince. But if you've not forgotten, in chapter 866, in Big Mom's flashback when she was in Albath, Prince Loki was just born, and to follow tradition, they wanted to celebrate his birth by thanking the sun for his growth. But they did this by fasting. This obviously affected Big Mom pretty bad, and she went on a rampage, which led to the death of Ural, and was a very devastating time for the people of Albath. So maybe through some conditioning, people might have thought that Prince Loki was unlucky, so on and so forth, and then he went to the dark side. So there might be more to this, like following a prophecy. I mean, the original Loki got Odin's son to kill his immortal brother Baldur, and it's immediately after his death is where Loki gets imprisoned. Sound familiar? Loki's imprisonment in both laws is what starts the end of the world. In the original mythology, he escapes his imprisonment and joins the giants against the Asgardians, thus triggering Ragnarok. And now it's all coming together. So either for power or prophecy, Loki in One Piece took his claim and possessed a devil fruit considered to be a legendary amongst even the giants. On top of that, Luffy feeling his strength can give us insight to Loki's haki being insane. All of this is further elaborated when we learn all of the warriors of Albath was needed to detain Loki. On top of that, Loki has made efforts to free himself, and they need the strength of every warrior to restrain him. To put things into perspective, Dory and Broggy were shown dealing with the goddesses with relative ease, though not being able to defeat them, they stood their ground. And now we find out that there is another giant, a young blood, who is stronger than all the warriors.
Nah, that nigga ain't he a young nigga, bro. He a YN, bro, straight up. Like, I'ma just call it for what it is, bro. You, yo, all of the Giants race, bro, to contain one dude. Like, yo, I remember it It was just yesterday. Luffy was throwing hands at Skypiea. There was no such thing as hockey, but this was in the verse. This demon was in the verse, bro. That's a crazy point to make. Dory and Bragi was holding their own against the girls, and it took every giant and what to stop Loki is crazy. That's insane. I'm not gonna lie.
Players in Albath combined. But what makes things worse is Luffy ended up finding the scream he was talking about, and it was none other than Prince Loki himself, with a massive double spread page revealing how huge he is. Like, what the hell was Oda smoking when he showed us Loki proposing to Lola before? He was Oda smoking when he showed us Loki proposing to Lola before.
You know what this reminds me of? I don't know if y'all seen the clip. If y'all seen the clip where Dion Coleman gets asked by Shannon Sharp, "Hey bro, you fuck Shaq's girl." I think Dion said, "Boy, she was hollow." Hold up, bro. Hold up. Dion Coleman. Dion Shaq's girl. I need this. Y'all, I gotta shout out this clip. This shit was so funny. Oh,
I said I never joined.
I heard you dated one of Shaq's exes, and you couldn't feel the shoes, literally or figuratively.
Nah, yeah, man.
Why would you do that?
Don't ever fuck at the Shaq. That's the point. Like, don't do it.
Why? Why would you do that?
I didn't know at the time. She told me later. After I got up, I was like, man, that was real hollow. That was real hollow. Why was that so hollow? I'm whistling in this one. Just nothing.
Come on.
Nathan. Touch nothing. Touch nothing, nothing at all. And I was like, and so I was just like, yeah, so who did you used to deal with? And she told me, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. I said, that's
You should have told me that before.
Dude, she told me, she should tell everybody before. She should tell everybody, she should go, hey, my name is such and such, and you know I fucked with Shaq. They'd be, oh, okay, well, nice meeting you, sister.
Yeah.
You know,
Damn,
That's what that shit reminded me of. Nah, cause let's really talk about it in Wano, bro. This big ass nigga twice is nuts. Like, just gotta. That's besides the point, though. We're getting distracted.
He seems to be wearing the regular giant warrior outfit, but in his buckle belt, there's a Jolly Roger with a crown. This could be his own crew of giant pirates. Loki's eyes are bandaged, which could imply that whatever devil fruit he ate not only gave him a massive power boost, but also could have something to do with his eyes or vision, such that the giants had to make efforts to conceal them tightly. Or maybe he just got clapped and he needed some bandage, who knows. But Luffy, in typical Luffy fashion, when asked to introduce himself, he says he's the man who's gonna be the king of the pirates. The term king catches Loki's attention, likely thinking that he is the only one true king. When Luffy questions his whereabouts, Loki reveals
This is Warland, the mighty kingdom of
that
Elbaf.
this is Warland, the mighty kingdom of Albath. He then finally introduces himself as Loki, the sun god who will bring about the end of the world. With this crazy statement, we finally get a look at Albath in all its glory.
Tough! What do we say in the ABD community? Fire! That's hard, bro. Cause listen, yo, The way Oda was depicting, the way he was depicting Elbaf, it looked like some mountain country, but this is raw, dog. Like, it looked like this sword go all the way down through here, down there. Like, this is tough.
Elbaf is a landscape of mountains, the colossal tree Yggdrasil standing right at the center. To just put into perspective how huge this tree is, there are a community of giants and castles built upon the branches of the trees, along with a humongous sword that is resting on the second layer of the tree. The idea that Sun God Nika might have been a giant is making more sense by the minute. In fact, this sword could have been stretched by Nika himself. Otherwise, how the heck did someone make it? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.
Peak, man! Peak! Peak. 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 Thank you, Oda. I've been satisfied. I appreciate it very much. Under all circumstances, you are Himothy, bro. You're him. Congrats. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, that